DC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. DC's turn to pick.
All right, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is a game number 3, our final game of the night here for the NA qualifiers for the Starliner I-League Invitational Season number 3. Hopefully you guys are having some fun night. We know we are. I'm Breaky CBK, joined by Z-Rock once again. And it's been a good series. Obviously, being a game 3, we're tied at 1 apiece. VGJ.Storm winning the first game. We're looking decent in the second game, but then DC coming back and forcing what is now this third and final game. So that's kind of the quick recap there. Z-Rock, we got an Ancient Apparition. First pick by VGJ.Storm.
We have been banned the whole time Ancient Apparition, finally getting to see some play. Is DC just going to follow up with the THD? Do they have faith?
5 seconds remaining.
We saw the Dire a mere couple hours ago using it to pretty much smash their way to a tempo victory.
THD, you old school player, you.
Jakiro.
That hero. Yeah, no, it's, again, I mentioned in the NA scene, it seems like it's actually a pretty relevant pick, so it wouldn't surprise me. Pops out.
Makes me sad that Shadow Shaman isn't so much more fun to watch than Jakiro.
Oh, yeah. No, still waiting for the mid Shadow Shaman to come back. Or be a thing.
AA, though. Mid AA?
Yeah, let's not go that far.
We've seen it twice now.
We saw Samael running at TI in a losing effort, and we saw Dendy run it earlier today in a winning effort, but okay. Twice in, what, 2-3 month period.
So if you're VGJ, the issue with picking an AA here, though, is you got to plan the rest of your lineup out right away. Do you grab something like, okay, a Sand King, a Faceless Void, Earthshaker, something with a big AoE stun needed to come out in this round for them, and that definitely fits the bill. AA also shores up some of Sand King's primary weaknesses that have made him fall out of the meta. Most notably that once he gets to 2 items in that like level 14-ish range, he kind of quits doing damage. And AA helps cover that a lot by amplifying his damage with the Icy Vortex, as well as just supplementing it massively with his ult.
Chilling Touch, also pretty good at amping damage early on in the game, and I'm quickly realizing, like, that's one of those abilities you almost, I don't want to say forget that it's there, but it's almost hard to see sometimes, especially in the early
subtly
parts
broken.
Of the game. Yeah, it's just subtly really freaking good, because it's plus 50 damage, I believe, at level 1, so you're looking at, if you get it on yourself, or sometimes in these try-ins, which we see a lot, you're looking at 150 added damage each attack, potentially, it's 450 damage.
Oh, yeah.
Altogether.
It pairs stupidly well with something like a PA that can use it on Dagger.
Oh, yeah.
And just Dagger somebody with an auto and instantly get out, 100 plus of that. We'll have to see what they want to go with here, if this is going to be a support Sand King or an offlane. Because support Sand King in AA is a little bit rough, because if the Sand King leaves to go jungle or roam or anything like that, it does leave the lane very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the Silencer pick is really an interesting X factor, because if they have vision of the AA in a fight, or even just using the global on the Sand King Burrow Strike, a lot of times you can make AA's ult just fly past you. Like, you can delay his reactivation of the ult, and then he just, does nothing with it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what that comes out. I'm assuming it's going to be a mid Silencer. I've not seen very much support Silencer these days.
Oh. Batrider is banned. I was going to say that's a nice pairing, if anything, but look at that ban. They're like, we do not want to get Meepoed in the third game. We are just going to take... I mean, they already have AA and Sand King, like 2 heroes that are potentially pretty good against the idea of the hero, but that's some respect right there, so...
Yeah, I don't like AA in the Meepo. I actually think it's incredibly weak. The Sand King's a little better. But in reality, against the Meepo, like, the biggest thing is just bursting things down. And I think they banned the Meepo after seeing the Sven ban. They're like, okay, they're prepping and banning out good Meepo counters.
Good point, yeah.
Radiant team pick.
Definitely could have been that.
Swagmas.
There's the Magnus. I know you... Swagmas, wow. Just busted that out. That's you mentioned that the first game as a potential for DC, so they ended up going here in the third game.
It's something they play, and it's something that can shore up a lot of the weaknesses that we've seen in their drafts, where they either don't scale very well or they don't draft enough team fight for themselves. It's just a nice, easy way to kind of be a catch-all for the weaknesses they tend to have in their drafts.
So now what pairing is the question? Because right now, I mean, Night Stalker Silencer, you're not looking at like the craziest Empower pairing, so you mentioned...
It's actually really good to Empower Silencer, because it's based off base damage, and Silencer builds a lot of int. So it does ramp his damage up a lot, it's just not the cleave.
Okay, yeah. If he's a core silencer, yeah, no, I could definitely, I guess, makes sense there.
It just shotguns out a ton of damage.
Usually you want that cleave, though.
Yeah, you do. PA is still left in the pool as a notable option. Lifestealer, of course, always potentially an option.
Juggernaut's always there. You know, that's definitely something that come to mind. Juggernaut's maybe died off a bit here, but
it has
another one.
I'm a little bit curious because they didn't ban out Faceless Void on the side of DC here at all. So Faceless Void could be a very good pickup for VGJ.Storm. And if I'm DC, I may potentially look at block picking it if they don't take it this pick. It's good with Empower. It's just a nice, easy cover. That's a Lycan.
That is a Lycan.
Huh. Yeah, I like Faceless Void a lot here. They right now don't have a lot of ways to do anything with it. If you just Chronos the Lycan, it's a lot easier to kill him when he's shapeshifted if he's, frozen. Silencer puts out a ton of damage into Chrono as well. It pairs pretty well with Empower. It's not the best tool, but if he goes Diffusal Manta, still a lot of damage.
Lycan into a Night Stalker pick is always going to be a good option, of course. With the idea of the nighttime synergy. Bloodseeker.
I mean, Bloodseeker Magnus is really all in on a good RP, but if you hit it, there's like no conceivable way you lose the team fight. You guarantee a good blood right then, you hit 2 or 3 with the silence, and then you just rupture whoever you didn't hit. It can be devastating.
5 seconds remaining.
And he no doubt will take advantage of that Empower buff, so one that we perhaps overlooked here. Also, I guess potentially decent against the idea of a Lycan. You rupturing the Lycan. In that shapeshift form, pretty good.
Yeah, can definitely be a useful tool.
So now 4th pick for VGJ.Storm. They probably need their mid, as well as their own offlane. Don't know if they would go the Faceless Void anymore. It's feels a little dangerous when you have a Lycan yourself.
What do you pair against the Bloodseeker that's not just gonna lose? That's hard. Like, Queen of Pain's fine in the early game. Oh, baby. So, aggro lanes is what this is telling me out of VGJ? Like, they're gonna run, like, solo safe Lycan or something, and then aggro try Sand King AA Chaos Knight?
10 seconds remaining.
Did not see the Chaos Knight coming. That is a curious pickup.
They could still mid the Lycan too. It's definitely not bad into Bloodseeker. It's hard, but it's doable. This is very interesting out of VGJ. Their last pick needs to be some sort of like vision control or team fight control. Like a puck would be pretty good for them, honestly. It's pretty hard in the Silencer, but good into the rest of those heroes. Yeah, if you're DC, I want like a Veno here or something. Something you can throw Plague Wards up and see stuff. Because if Bloodseeker can get on AA, he's just going to destroy him every fight and could really just disrupt ultimates. Night Stalker will be able to do that, but it's going to take an Aghanims first, which is going to be a long time coming in a game like this.
We're this far into the draft, you think Veno's still open?
Oh, derp, first band. I was thinking about other stuff and looking further down the list.
Radiant team ban.
No, Veno, the initial ban there. That's not surprising. Dragonite is going to be the final ban from DC. Now VGJ.Storm Thinking about there. So yeah, I'm still just kind of caught up in the idea of that Chaos Knight pick and how that sets up the laning phase now. Like I said, maybe the idea of an aggressive lane coming out here from VGJ.Storm is very possible.
Yeah.
But as far as middle options, you would figure is what they still need. So
I'd be leaning that way. I'm more curious about DC. Is this going to be a 5-roll silencer?
I think it might be.
That just sounds kind of bad.
I mean, that's not crazy.
It's not unheard of. No, it's
yeah.
definitely not unheard of. But like core silencer could do so much work in this game, just chunking people out. I guess it is kind of weak to CK. There's a good mid hero. That'll be fine. As I said, a little rough into silencer, but very good into the rest of this lineup. But very vulnerable to getting roamed on. Especially if they mid the silencer. Like Night Stalker runs in at level 3 and just crippling fears him and you just run the puck down. But
5 seconds remaining.
so if DC needs either a mid or a carry here. Now you kind of want a little more like a second target for Empower for Cleave though. When you have to deal with something like a Chaos Knight. Is there any AoE stuff? So either they go like a Tidehunter and just make themselves unlosable in team fights. You just Ravage first and then RP. Run mid Magnus.
Yeah. Nothing really coming to mind here. I mean, 10 seconds left, so I'm wondering if they're actually just going to go a support and then, okay, they're going to go Ember Spirit. So, yeah, it will be a support silencer in the end.
So with a Magnus, there's always the question, are we going to see Battle Ember, like more right-click instead of the caster-oriented version? Abed, a notorious Ember Spirit player, he's played it a lot. Even seeing the golden rapiers there in the skin battle. But
yeah.
I hope we do see the more right-click oriented. I think it's gotten tuned up, whereas the spellcaster ones receive nerf after nerf.
I'll say, from my witnessing of Ember Spirit games lately, I don't know if Veil's as necessary anymore. I mean, maybe with the synergy of a lineup, but in like this lineup, is Veil really that necessary for the team? And instead just going like even straight bots, getting the Maelstrom, going that Radiance, even so.
Yeah. I could see like Aquila bots, maybe Maelstrom into crit. He might need BKB this game though. There's a lot of stun, there's a lot of silence.
Okay, so who's playing what? It's Snaking on the Chaos Knight. 747 on the Lycan. Nope, Ritsu on the Lycan now. They're still swapping around. Okay, so 747.
I'm still thinking it's going to be an aggro duel or aggro tri-lane out of VGJ.
Probably.
They just solo safe throw Ritsu Lycan into probably Magnus.
All right. Here we go.
Gotta love the fighting game opener.
Love it. Don't have to worry about that.
Like it even uppercuts in it. It's great.
I like that. I'm glad they kept that, and obviously they took away the towers.
I don't care about the towers. Give me my chat wheel.
Yeah, right. Game is paused. Okay, that's why I was having issues. It's like still loading in. And it's... What's going on? How do you just pause? That's what I was wondering. Game just crashing or something? No.
Their TeamSpeak crashed.
Okay. So yeah, the final game here, again, of the series. The winner moves on to play the Dire. Later on in the event, the loser will drop down to the Dire early on today. 2-0, and essentially their debut. The Dire looked like they could handle business fairly decisively. Looking to be one of the top teams, of course, right now in the NA region with the way they're playing lately. But Evil Genius is going to be making their debut on Wednesday. Of course, we'll have something to say about that.
That's where people are going to have the question marks.
It's going to be a good day. I'm a Complexity fanboy myself as well, so I know they definitely got some fans out there, and they play on Wednesday for the first match against Team Leviathan, BSJ and crew.
Multiple TPs out. We actually see Moonmeander running into Flea here. Neither of them going to be able to get their deep wards off. Bulba did manage to sneak around, but now he's going to get scouted out here by 747.
Yeah.
So the only ward that goes down then is Stan King's deep ward in the Styre jungle.
So he's gonna have to hold on to the ward for now. I mean, Bloodseeker is still smoked up, but yeah, gonna be wearing off there as the duration wears off. So we'll see if they can sneak up somehow and get in here. But VGJ.Storm, sure enough, they are gonna be going aggressive. From the looks of it, well, maybe not. I mean, we'll see. But that would still be the guess here, as far as the aggressive lane goes. And they might actually go for 3 runes here. I mean, right now, Stan King's just sitting at the top bounty rune. Magnus is going to run in, though, and...
Yeah, he'll have to back up as soon as he sees Mag.
If it's just Mag, he's going to cold feed him here.
Wow,
he's
pushing him away.
Yeah, how about that? So they're going to get 3 runes.
That's a lot of respect given from MSS there, but without the deep wards down, I guess they're just not sure where they are.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like you said, it's. I'm glad you kind of pointed that out the way it happened right there from the very beginning, to get it spotted with the smoke, not able to get the ward down, because it's stuff like that. It all adds up together.
Oh no! This time it's 747 who fails the block.
So the other side. Hey, maybe it's the Radiant side. It's just that much tougher, I guess.
It actually is. The creeps split coming out of the tier 2 tower, or the tier 3 tower. It's really weird. But...
Bulba? He's going to be stunned down here, and Chaos Knight running over. So it does not end up being an aggressive offlane. It's actually just going to be Ritsu on the Lycan. Solo off. He gets charged into the tower. He's going to be hero blocked right here. Bloodseeker ports in. Applies the Blood Rage for the amp damage on him, but Ritsu will just run it off.
Yeah, so they're going to full swap lanes. DC does not want to deal with whatever lane that CK was going to go to.
So now I'm guessing Lycan will come to the bottom lane. He doesn't buy a TP, though. I mean, can Lycan really sit up here with rotations happening? I mean, they haven't happened yet, to be fair, in full.
As long as he's leeching experience, this is fine. He's going to be able to jungle and recover at a certain point, so yeah. Just trying to get a little bit of levels, a little bit of XP.
Does get his Howl level 2. Has that now to work with, and Feral Impulse and Howl build, it just seems like the go-to.
Man, this is so tense. Sneaking's going to hit 2 in like 2 creeps, and that's going to mean DC can't even come to cast range in this lane. Like, if they're in range of a Chaos Bolt, they're just dead. We already see the respect being shown. They're not able to get anything out of this lane right now.
Meander almost teasing them of sorts. Going to apply the Arcane's Curse. See if that ends up backfiring eventually. Still no first blood given up. 2-minute rune going to spawn. It's going to be a double damage at the top here. Right now, 747's positioning himself to pick it up eventually. He's doing pretty good
aggressive
against
build out of him. No phase shift at all.
Oh, that was, you know what? Was bound to miss one tonight.
Yeah, that was exactly what I said. He got in range of Chaos Bolt and just died.
Yeah, seemed like he kept tempting Fate right there, and eventually Fate caught up.
Did get level 2 out of it, which is fairly surprising that he was actually able to do that before he died. But rotating up to the top lane, trying to full zone this Lycan at the moment. Ritsu now going to finally seed the lane and port bottom.
I was going to say, as soon as the support comes in, yeah, now he just has to go elsewhere. And there you see the TP's happening. So really, VGJ.Storm is on top of it. It's like they were ready for that all along.
And that's fine if you're VGJ. You manage to rotate the lanes and still get what you want. But it is giving DC an advantage by being the first to rotate. They're gaining a little bit more XP, a few more free CS. It's a minor lead, but it is something.
Like result in another kill. God, that Reality Rift range is insane. It pulls him all the way in. The bolt comes out, and Silencer, he is definitely dead. Who gets the last hit? It will be Stan King, playing the Ancient Apparition right there. So that Reality Rift, though, man.
It's nuts.
Big
now, it can be fogged. That's very similar to Spirit Breaker in that aspect, that if you can juke around trees, it's really hard to get off.
Obviously, a great find, though. He even has a mango, of course, to refresh here if need be. with the Reality Rift Chaos Bolt combination. Bulba standing in the face of Ritsu. He's going to take some tower hits because of that, but...
Yeah, it's turning night in 10 seconds. That's what Bulba's prepping for here. He's trading a lot and losing on these trades just so when it hits 4 minutes, he can try to go for the kill.
And Lycan did just use his Howl, actually, so... We'll have to wait for cooldown of 40 more seconds.
Level 2 Feral Impulse regen's nuts, though. It's a full ring of health.
Oh, wow, yeah, 4 health regen. Level 2, damn. That is pretty nice. Takes advantage of that right there. Moomiander picks up the illusion rune. Sand King's going to go for the TP out. He should be fine. Oof. That was actually closer than I thought it was going to be for sure, but barely gets out. Good decision actually there by Flea to port what he did.
All these little skirmishes are speeding up Bloodseeker's farm, though. He was farming the jungle at the time, and getting those extra thirst stacks really does help him do that a lot quicker.
Middle matchup, 30-14 Puck, 21-3 Ember Spirit. I was going to mention that earlier. You also talked about the aggressive build of Puck, and on paper, does this make sense to you that Puck would actually be ahead in this matchup?
Yeah, because with the build he went, he could strip Flame Guard off anytime until level 5. There was no way Abed could actually do anything aggressive to him, because a Q and a W instantly means Flame Guard's gone, and then you lose your trade advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, though, we've hit the point where Flame Guard is not instantly going to get broken, so Abed could turn up the heat here, maybe looking for something when he's 6, but with Flea around, it's going to prove very, very difficult.
Look at this. Moomian is trying to bait out something here with the illusion, but it got pinged out. Something tells me they know. They're like, I mean, Moomian, oh my god, never mind. They did think it was real.
Flame Guard ended,
caught Ember Spirit, and you're right, Flame Guard just ended right there. Now Abed's in trouble. He goes in for the burst himself, but it's not enough for the kill. Initially, he goes down. They do eventually get Sand King taken out, but now Puck, he's just going to walk it off. What an interesting sequence of events right there.
Oh man, yeah, that coil was very lucky it caught Ember, and just bad timing on the Flame Guard ending for him. Huh. The bait worked overall.
It did. It worked too well. Worked so well, it still got Ember Spirit killed in the end.
Indeed.
Whoopsie. Yeah, that's an unfortunate circumstance there, but it happened. Life moves on. Abed's back to the middle lane. I mean, they've given up this top lane, haven't they? They just say, you know what, you guys can have it.
It's what you have to do against CK. If he has too strong of a supporting cast, and he absolutely does in the Sand King AA, you can't even try to contest. Now that he's isolated and alone, though, once AA shows down here, which they're going to get a kill on Mason because of it, this will open up a chance that they could pressure the CK.
Puck gets picked up in the middle lane meanwhile. So, nice response at least coming out right there. 747 going down. You talk about CK now at the top lane. Nice deny in the tower right there by MSS. He's going to skewer him right into silence there. I don't know if that's going to necessarily accomplish a lot, though. Puts that last word up, so silence will happen. He does have a combo, though. Without any help. Probably not going to result in a kill. So the back and forth exchange going on. Abed, is he hanging around a little bit too long? No, he had the Remnant ready, and it gets back to the shrine. Where they can catch him right there. So Lycan continue to farm away at the bottom. Lycan does have the hand of Midas queued up here. Going to be buying the gloves of haste from the side shop. So going the hand of Midas. Hold that thought, because actually top lane, MSS, excuse me, could be in some trouble. Real strike follow-up right there. He mangles up, though, skewers away. He took Flea for a ride, though, with him. And ends up being the death of Magnus right there. Good job by Flea positioning himself, really. They also pick off Moomiander. Mason trying to get a turn kill out of this. Gonna get the heal. He can. Snaking, though. Another stun in 2 more seconds. Gonna be ruptured up. Mason keeps on running there. It's a TP. And they do not have a stopper for it. So Chaos Knight making the right decision to get out there.
Yeah. Just getting 6 off that kill made it very, very scary all of a sudden for VGJ. Good thing they had TPs, or it could have been punished, but we're going to see Abed and 747 meet up here. Abed just pieces out.
Yeah, he is quick to get away here.
Well, it was an efficiency thing. He actually had that one prepped, so if he missed top rune, he was going straight to the bounty and then going to collect the actual rune.
Nice.
That was really well done.
I'll take your tribute.
Just going to put one over here and head back towards the middle lane. So yeah, back to the hand of Midas on Lycan. Do you like it?
It's fine. I mean, I think they could just go something more aggressive on him, even drums or, I don't know, many other items, but they also have sneaking just running train on this game right now. which is giving Lycan a ton of free time.
You see right there a couple of kills. Ember Spirit comes in. That Flame Guard is not ready, though. This is a pretty bold move on his part. Of course, Hastron helps that. Granted, he can still be stunned, but out of range, so not going to happen. A couple of kills in favor of VGJ.Storm, and more room for Lycan, as mentioned, towards getting the Hannah Midas now.
Yeah, and Chaos Knight went a really skirmishy build. Maxing Reality Rift first means it's up a lot more often. The cooldown drops drastically, and it's also the lowest mana cost. But it means your stun is very short.
Oh,
can they do it?
Yep. Stan King connected.
Man, that was close. He TP'd the second that Dream Coil came out. Just wasn't quite enough.
A great find by Storm here. And Puck, he is the top net worth currently at 3,800. He actually has the blink queued up into what would be a Yules right now. That's the plan, at least, for 747 here. And then he got Chaos Knight, of course, the armlet. That's queued up for him, so just naturally a good item build on him, but of course allows him for that much stronger early game presence. And he's also maxing out Reality Rift here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's just a cheaper mana cost skill. So if he feels like he's going to be very active running around doing things, it can be worth the trade-off in not maxing stun first, because it just gives you so many more uses of that skill versus one singular stun.
Yeah. That makes sense there, and he's going to go on Ember Spirit here. Just pulls him in. No stun follow. I don't think that was ever the intention, just more so saying hi. I want to get up close and personal. Smoke ain't coming out here. Rupture ready for Bloodseeker, as well as Night Stalker.
There's no one here.
It is daytime, and he does not have darkness, though. Of course, only level 4 still, so it's
yeah, and you got to give that tome to Moon, I think. Well, they are running it down to him.
Yeah, the level 6 of Silence there, that much more impactful.
Yeah, they gave it to Bulba, though.
Did they? Okay.
Now sitting at 5.5, but yeah, I would have said the same thing. I think global is just so crucial, but maybe they're not feeling like it's as important since Mag is quite a ways off Blink Dagger. Like, it's a very synergistic combo. You want to be able to global right after RP.
Okay, they are really going deep for this. This might backfire, or maybe not. Abed actually gets stunned out now as Hughes come over to help the Cold Feet procs, actually. The Ice Blast in the face. Out comes the RP from MSS, but it does not save Abed. He goes down as well as a result. Moon Meander, at least far enough to stay alive, I guess, but Night Stalker joins the fray and gives him the triple kill in the end. Stan King got denied by Neutral Creeps. That Burrow Strike, though, man, fully out of range. It doesn't matter. They just dive into the base. An ultra kill for Ryoya, aka 747.
Puck's rich.
On the Puck.
That's basically an 11-minute Blink Dagger done now. Howl did so much work in that fight. I mean, the right clicks were just beating down everybody. The RP came out a tad late from MSS, not able to save his Ember Spirit, who even had a safety remnant.
That seemed like a DC, and I know it's easier for us to say as casters, but they did not need to commit there whatsoever. The positioning of MSS, it was a very ambitious Dream Coil, felt like, and it seemed like he was in a safer spot. It almost looked like Puck was actually going to turn around, and then all of a sudden Abed went in, and DC kind of committed themselves. And then we saw the end result right there. So, and I'd have to look at it again. I might be completely wrong, but it felt like DC definitely did not need to fight there.
They didn't want to fight. Abed only went in to try to save MSS. He was just going to go in and hit a chains and then go out right away. He already had a safety remnant set out in the outside, had the mana for it. It's just the silences lined up so brutally for him. He didn't have any chance to get out.
Yeah.
And then it became a full save your teammate syndrome. Ember stuck.
That's fair. Yeah, even RP in there, and that's definitely not how you want to use your first RP of the game, so just kind of fell apart pieces to pieces, but VGJ.Storm capitalizes on said mistakes. They take out the middle tower now, and this CK and Armlet is just about finished. For him, we mentioned the blink on Puck. Oh, never mind, actually. Actually, he's going the Yules first instead now, so he could have gotten the blink, but likes the idea of the Yules here. Instead...
Yeah, I mean, Yules is way more defensive for him. It's very, very hard for this DC lineup to kill him. But they do normally have 3 silences, so the Yules is going to break one of those, which then he can phase shift and try to find a way out.
They're pushing tier 2. It's not, what else is new? I mean, this has been a theme of today in general. Both series, just objective gaming.
Yeah, one team gets tempo and really tries to cling to it. Now, just like last game, there is a turnaround point DC could find, and it's going to come on the back of Magnus getting his Blink Dagger. But they're in a rough spot this game compared to the last. Their Ember doesn't have Veil done yet, which he's still looking like he's going for. Their Bloodseeker has literally nothing. Treads Aquila is all. Not the spot they want to be in.
There's the top tier 2. And he's porting out. Power Tread's just about finished on Lycan right here. What is this a Necronomicon game, you think, or is that would he have gone for that if he was going for that here?
Yeah, you go that right away if that's your plan. I would imagine it's going to be like either Mask of Madness or Vlad's or Basher. Something that's just going to let you run at somebody and force them back in a fight.
Okay. More combat ready. Well, interesting right here. It is nighttime, of course. Puck ports into the shrine, though. Not going to catch Abed. They will catch Moomiander, though, and that'll be a free kill, at least.
That new Yule's showing off its work.
There you go. So they get 1 kill out of it. They don't know if they're going to be able to hunt for more. You know, nothing against Bloodseeker here, but it feels like I honestly kind of forgot Bloodseeker was in this game. That's what I was going to get at right there.
And he has almost nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he has Treads Aquila and 1,000 gold.
Yeah, it's not been the friendliest game for him. And down there on that network, currently 5th overall. He does have that Empower buff. He's level 2 currently from MSS, and looks like they're going to be smoking up here. Nightstalker has it. They're kind of grouping up as if they were a Silencer also has one, but never mind. Changing the mind, perhaps.
Yeah.
And spreading out the farm.
The more I think about it, the more I want to see a Vlad's on this Lycan. It would just help CK out so much and just extending his burst range. It actually gives Puck a non-negligible amount of damage as well. It really does seem like it would just be a nice, clean way to keep this lead going forward. Or you could just go straight BKB and try to end the game.
Yeah.
Always an option when you're like this far ahead in tempo.
You look like him, by the way. He actually still has a Necronomicon now queued up. As far as his follow-up goes. I mean, I was kind of with you. It seemed like that's an item you usually want to get like ASAP and get that going to level 3, but...
And it's just a risky item. I mean, it's one of the most losing items in Dota by stat because you're just feeding so much gold every time they kill the Necro units. So unless you're getting something very productive done on every use of it, you're giving them like 400 gold every time you kill off a Necro pair. It's just so much.
Well, for now, it seems like that's going to be the choice of Ritsu. This, what is a massive stack here of Ancients on the Dire side. Chaos and AA have been hanging out in this area for a while. I assume they want to try to take it eventually, but again, a lot easier said than done. They don't have the greatest lineup for that, I guess. So instead, gonna leave it for now, but...
VGJ hits a nice breakpoint here, though. Sand King gets Blink. That's another huge focal point for them. Now their initiation range extends. Now they can actually kill an Ember who has the safety remnant set.
Nightstalker ports out right in front of Lycan right there. Bloodseeker also ports out. There's that Ember Spirit using that remnant as mentioned to get away. Again, he obviously ended up going the Veil. And now the bots queued up for him, but this is going to be a bottom tier 1 now. Transition into, at least for the Radiant side, it seems like. Game plan here of 14-4 in hero kills. The Blink Dagger for Puck, 1530 gold saved up, so almost has that now to go along with the Yules that he decided to go for first. Obviously, Blink on Sand King. Oh, and now Lycan actually does have the armlet toggled, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm much more for an item that pushes his advantage a little more, or does something for the team. I don't think you really need to push any harder than you already are. Right now, you're pushing because they can't fight you. Necrobook's not really going to change that. It's not going to make you scarier to fight. So, I'm liking the armlet more.
Well, there's that bottom tower going down. And honestly, might as well keep going. What's going to stop them here? The RP threat is
don't
there,
lose the race.
Yeah, no, they win that for sure with that Howl buff. It's not nighttime yet. It's still 2 more minutes until then, but even in daytime, still does plenty. MSS, it seems like DC is going to really be relying on a big RP from MSS here.
I'm loving this. Flea's looking to cancel a TP or two. Yeah, this is going to punish.
Mason, he's going to end up going down for this blood right. Not going to save him there. Meanwhile, Abed was able to get a pick off over here. He uses Mass Remnant spam
Looking
to do
for
so.
Snee as well. With an Arcane Rune, he could potentially do this, but the Shrine is going to stop.
No. He shouldn't chase this, right? I mean...
Well, you know a lot of VGJ just supported top, so the support
True.
that's able to come in is minimal, but the Shrine alone is enough that you want to just turn around.
You saw that random damage, of course, starting to come out from the Chaos Strike, so before you know it, could have blown up.
Yeah, this is interesting, though. Sticking to 1 point in Chaos Bolt and maxing Chaos Strike next. That's something I have not seen before. Generally, there's very low reason to not max Chaos Bolt. I mean, it's already just the same mana cost that is at level 4.
He stops the TP of Abed here, so even if he doesn't get the kill, he's almost kind of won in a sense. That's the TP on cooldown, of course, for him. Chaos Knight taking some return damage, but now here comes Sand King, actually. As a Pearl Strike, no epicenter. Magnus is nearby. Gotta be careful about that. And eventually are going to fall back from one another, it seems like. So Puck has that blink now. You know he wants to try to find something with that. It does feel like the pace of the game has slowed down a little bit. For VG.Storm, at least.
Yeah, they're starting to slowly stem the bleeding on the side of DC. The blink getting up on MSS has been a huge fear factor that's made VGJ start respecting it a little bit. But at this point, you have one mid tower left and then it's cracking the base. The tempo is there for VGJ, they just need to find the right moment. And not get clumped into like a 4-man RP.
They just smoked right on top of a ward there at their own shrine, the dire side that is. So... VG.Storm definitely knows this. They spam pinged it as soon as it happened. And you see them rotating towards the top. They may actually try to bait out Chaos Knight here.
CK is going to end up one-shotting Ember or Bloodseeker at some point in this game. Echo Saber done now. This is a super bursty game. Like, this build is so much damage out of Chaos Knight.
Yeah, they're checking out Roshan just in case. Not going to happen, though. So Chaos Knight will head in that direction, see if we can find anybody. But again, that Smoke Ink coming up short right there. Albite continues to push out the bottom lane as Puck goes in for the counter ward. Got DC is avoiding fights at all costs, it seems like. That's no doubt for their better. But eventually they're going to have to get committed at this rate as VG.Storm is going to start pushing up the tier 2 middle now. And probably Roshan from here, I think. I don't think they're trying to break tier 3 yet.
I would imagine so.
Seems a little risky at this point. Mason, that BKB is almost finished. For Bloodseeker up here. He's going to TP. Was that a Phantasm armor? Yeah.
Yeah, he used it on the tier 2.
Checking out Roshan with a scan on happening. Here's, again, the stack is still here. So even though they are not stealing it, I guess that means DC hasn't been doing it either. So kind of limiting the resources.
Just got trashed from DC. They needed a little more time. Bloodseeker needed to be able to get to an item or two. You needed to be able to clear that stack with Ember, with Empower. It's just fallen off the rails for their intended game plan, and now they're kind of on on plan B or maybe plan C at this point. Which is hope they mess up and RP them all.
That's the plan. You always got the RP factor. And you have a Magnus, so...
And if they can catch somebody isolated, they skirmish exceptionally well. Rupture, Night Stalkers, everything. Ember with Searing Chains. They have a lot of ways to pick off individuals if they do catch them out. VGJ have been doing a very nice job about not having vulnerable people out alone, though.
Bulba. You see a Ice Blast coming on through, actually, but... Just gonna hit one creep. No hero in the area. They want to fight though, Snake King. He almost got the Reality Rift off. There's that Fade to Black though, but the stun in from Sand King as the Global Silence comes out in return, however. Sand King falling off, so they couldn't really follow up the best, but Puck comes in with the Dream Coil, locking down Bloodseeker right here as they do get the pick off on a Magnus, so no RP coming out from him. Reality Rift to finish off the job on a Bloodseeker. And now Abed making his escape. He should be fine here. He's going to TP back, but they got a couple of pick-offs, so even with the Global Silence, wasn't going to be good for DC there.
Yeah, the beautiful play there from the Puck to stop the RP from going up. Basically crowd-controlled Magnus that entire fight. Nothing he could really do.
Yeah.
And without the RP, there's just zero shot of DC winning a fight. Oh, man, this Bloodseeker, though, is just feeling so underwhelming.
Yep. Yeah, he has a Hand of Midas. That's like, you look at his inventory, that's essentially what he has right now. As they find Abed. Okay. I thought that might have been like a support, if anything, but no, that was actually the Ember Spirit there.
And he's basically out of remnants.
Lock up.
Like, he threw one back to try to find a way out, but by then, you already had a Burrow striking Sand King on.
Chaos Knight. He's got a BKB queued up himself now. Mentioned the Echo Saber with the armlet. Potential to hit really hard here.
This is where VGJ needs to like go find Roche or something. Your vision is very, very solid right now. And this Invis on Flea lets him post up outside of the Roche pit. They need to find a way to start thinking about breaking the high ground, because you don't want to give this lineup too long on the side of DC, or the risk of ruin with that RP just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, Mason. Just trying to find any kind of farm. The Ice Blast even is going to connect, and he just can't get anything. 1-5-1 this game as far as his hero stat line goes. I mean, across the board, it's pretty ugly, really, on their side. So again, 19-5 lead overall for VG.Storm. But yeah, as you make the point, it's definitely not something that VG.Storm wants to think they have locked up here by any means. Not that they do, but they are going to head into the Roshan pit. Now looking to do that, actually. So Desolator almost finished for Lycan as well. That's going to be a great item. The timing's going to be really good. It would have been nice for Roshan, to be fair, but as they're pushing into the base, he should have it here.
The most massive one's going to be once Sneaking finishes his heart. He's going to be almost impossible to bring down. He's going to be insta-killing people with Phantasm. It's just going to be a monstrous swing for them. Like, he will be near unkillable.
Abed wants a little bit more farm at the bottom before getting out with the Fire Remnant. Chaos Knight ports in. And of course, he's the one, to pick up the Aegis. But as you're talking about, that heart is queued up. So already 2,600 gold saved up. So getting close to finishing the Reaver at least. Of the full-on heart here. And again, like in the Desolator, about there too. Puck's also going to have a Lincoln Sphere finish shortly here. And he's one of these heroes definitely where, not only for himself, but again, to throw on somebody else, throw on the Chaos Knight, throw on the Lycan in the front lines there. Oh, this is
boy.
Interesting. We found Puck! Get him!
Puck found us. Unfortunate blink in there from 747 right into the 4-man DC squad.
I mean, they literally pressed all their buttons there. That was Global Silence, RP, and Darkness, all left to the other.
I mean, that's a pretty easy rush when you res. That was great.
That was, you can't blame them with the way this game's been going, but it was still funny.
I mean, once in a while, if you're VGJ, you just happen to wander into the south side of Chicago and bad things happen. Went over to the river into East St. Louis.
15 more seconds, he'll be back up here. So, but again, we just talked about, we're kind of joking about it, but really, RP still has another minute. You got Global Silence still another 75 seconds, so this is a bit of a window now for the Radiant side to try to capitalize.
They could walk up the hill right now, honestly. With this new Reaver on Chaos Knight and the Aegis, there is nothing stopping them here.
Yeah, exactly. There's no threat of initiation, really. Although Snake, as I say that, Lotus Orb is put on him.
It's fine.
That's true.
Like, it feels wasteful, but if you crack this T3, then you open Shrines up, and the rest of the game seems like it'll play itself out a little bit.
Last we're gonna silence him. He has that armlet. They do take out tier 3 though. They might be happy with that. Looks like they are. Gonna fall back.
It lines up nicely with the timings. Now you fall back and wait for the next Phantasm. The ults from this DC squad were coming up in the next 30 seconds, so nice pickup.
Who has a Lotus Orb, by the way? Sand King? Yeah.
Sand King. Yeah.
How about that? That's after the Blink Dagger.
It's amazing, this game. It's so good. Purging off Silence. Super value.
Yeah. Roots, Silence. Seem really strong. And look at the fake fallback here by VG.Storm, but DC is not falling for it.
This might be a touch ambitious.
There we go. He has RP, by the way. There's a jump in with the Waning Resistance as well. The Blood Right put down. Global Silence on top of that. Lycan is going to get picked off, actually. Chaos Knight, he's fighting, though. Again, he still has that Aegis. Mason going toe-to-toe with him. Will win that battle eventually with some team support. MSS still has the RP, by the way. He might end up using it right here, perhaps. In the back lines, Sand King in the epicenter. He couldn't actually get in. Something stopped him. And they end up losing to AA. Now Snaking, he is forced to fight right here in the face. Lotus Orb is up, though. He just drops MSS on the Magnus. Lotus Orb reflecting something as well. Dream Coil will snap on a Night Stalker. He goes down. The blow up on a Chaos Knight, though, from Abed. So at least Chaos Knight's picked off, as is the Sankin. That's a double kill for Abed right there on the Ember Spirit. And the phase shift away from 747 to get the hell on out.
That was just silly from VGJ. They had no reason to be there with Global and RP being online again. That was just brave.
For the twins.
Yeah, they misjudged their timings or something, but I mean that definitely was up. And MSS didn't even end up using the RP, yet it still went as well as it did for the Dire team.
Yeah. Beautiful play from Abed there, getting the chains off on Sand King. That actually stopped that Epi from going off in any productive fashion, or that fight could have actually gone VGJ's way. But nice play out of him. And yeah, you hit all your ultimates. You did something nice there. The global was just back-breaking. What's the end game, though? Your Bloodseeker committed to a very, very early BKB. So that's going to be down to 5 seconds, basically the time he gets the next item. Your Ember Spirit is not going like a high DPS build. What's the play to get rid of this Chaos Knight? Even just his Phantasms, once he has Heart Up.
And he is just about there. I think that, and then the BKB especially, of course, is what's going to really put it over the edge. But we saw in the last fight, even with the Reaver, they are still able to do some fair damage to him. It's just he can also just drop you in like 2 hits with the lucky procs of the Chaos Strike. So you're playing that dangerous game, really. Are you going to kill him or not, especially with the Phantasm up? But yeah, VGJ.Storm almost kind of shooting themselves in the foot in a sense.
He Phantasms and just threw the Phantasms at the bottom shrine. 0 risk push. They're not planning on doing anything in the near future. So,
what? It's Illusion Wars. SS has. You know what? I've noticed that he's not afraid to do that. He's using his Phantasm very just liberally. Objective. Yeah, like he's not reacting with it.
Yeah. And it is slightly hurting their teamfight presence, but there is enough AoE on DC. Maybe he feels like it's not going to be the make or break on a teamfight. They're going to get blood rated. They're going to get Searing Chains and RP'd. And maybe he just doesn't think there's enough value in using him for a teamfight. And he is taking an objective with him almost every use.
Yeah. Right there.
I think at this point, he just wants it to line up to the heart timing. Like, be very similar to that same point.
I don't know why. This kind of just does make me chuckle a little bit. I'm fairly certain this stack here of Ancients on the Dire side is still there from the beginning of the game. Like when I mentioned that very early on.
20 minutes ago?
Yeah. So it just hasn't been stolen, or let alone hasn't been done by DC here. Unless they've been restacked, but I'm pretty sure those are the same groups even.
I think they're the same ones.
Seen them try them, so. And a dangerous spot to be in. Ags on Night Stalker, it's coming. He needs about 2,000 more gold before he has it. As always,
and that would be huge for them. That all of a sudden makes it so Mag can see what's in front of him and actually know when the RP timing needs to be. Like, MSS has been struggling to find good RPs because Chaos Knight's just running at his face. Like, that kind of pressure makes it very difficult.
Top lane, Abed. He has this link in. Puck actually ends up scouting him right here. Also has a Dagon, by the way, but nothing's going to come of it. Abed gets out, and this is going to be a top shrine now killed by VGJ.Storm here. So, and the hard finish on Chaos Knight now. He's like, oh, look at these Ancients over here. Pause to stop them from killing the Ancients.
Nice particle effects on Chaos Knight right now. Just got hit by one of the the golem thing, or the acolytes prowlers. Yeah.
Jesus.
Looks like a super ion shell.
Whose Alpha Wolf is this, by the way? Wait. Oh, yeah. Helm of the Dominator on Moon Meander. You know, I was going to bring this up earlier, and in the King's Cup, we were seeing glimpses of it. I know Complexity actually picked it up several times. Is this a comeback, man? This item returning?
I mean, it's still situational on supports, right? It can make or break your mid game if you happen to have that extra creep, and it's going to make the big difference for you. I guess the question here is what he's planning on doing in fights. In this kind of game, his global is the most important thing by far. So maybe he feels like Dom is a way he can contribute while still being a mile away from the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. It's definitely odd.
That attack speed in there.
That 10 health regen. I mean, that's what made it broken back in the day.
Yeah.
It's AoE 10 HP regen. So nuts for pushing.
It's good. It does that on the 15 attack speed. Quite the aura to have. Maelstrom finished by Ember Spirit. He's continuing to just push out the lanes. Bottom and top especially. S&Y now finished on Bloodseeker. And BKB.
Well, game's over. Radiant took the stack.
They killed it, yep. Finish it off. Boss has been defeated.
Raid boss
We'll go home now.
4,000 health.
Yeah, with the armlet toggled, yeah, 4,000 health. And he can just keep that on, right? Yeah, with the heart. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
He's good.
Oh, yeah.
Why the hell not? So he's a beast. Tough to kill. MSS scouting out with his new toy Shadow Blade. He was seen there, and the pings came out immediately, but did a good job of turning back. Moon Meander, not turning back though.
That's a big kill. Now there's no Fury Global, no buyback for 40 seconds. They'll have this creep wave to the base in about 15.
Bottom lane is being pushed in though by the
There's no
creeps,
hero
at
there
least.
though. Yeah, you just ignore it until a hero shows up. I'm very, very surprised Lycan's going back for this.
Yeah, there's always a possibility that he has a buyback, and that would be... He's one of those heroes like a buyback and instantly press R. He doesn't need to like TP in or anything, so...
Yeah.
And they just say, let's not take the risk. Dig on level 3, finished on Puck as well, so maybe he wants to get that full level 5.
There is a world once he has level 5 Dagon where he solos Ember Spirit, where if he can strip the Flame Guard off with Yules and then silence him right as he comes down, he can just pop him. But I'm really curious to see if it happens, because they keep meeting. I mean, 747 doing a very good job at curbing the split.
Yeah, BKB on Chaos Knight is the key item here, feels like. You get that on him, and then he becomes actually unstoppable.
Yeah, their physical damage is really pitiful right now.
Yeah, they have very little threat there. So he's farming for that. That's definitely the key, but look at Bulba just charging on in. Just wanted to say hi to his friends.
It wasn't quite as funny as Puck blinking into 4, but still, yeah, odd.
Yeah.
If he has Ags, that's fine, because you can see him from far enough away that you just back up there. But 20 seconds to Roche, I have to imagine they just leave a wolf in here.
And I could have sworn I said he needed 2,000 gold to get the item before, and now he still needs 3 components.
Who?
Oh, he still needs 2,000 gold. Yeah, no, that makes sense, actually. Night Stalker, yeah. For the Ag. So he's really just in the very same spot, if anything.
Oh, I'm so happy with sneaking right now. Opted for the blink before the BKB. This is super cool, because what it's going to let him do is keep his Phantasms outside of all this AoE that DC's trucking in, outside of the blood rates and everything like that. And then he just blink in reality rift someone and they all come with him. And then it just shotguns somebody.
Bad. Yeah, that was going to be a tough kill. Obviously, you had the Remnant there. That was the Dream Call commitment. Unable to capitalize, though, so gets away. Yeah, it's going to Blink Dagger.
DC scouting this Roche out at the same time. They've got the dominated creep sitting in the Roshan pit, so both teams do know this exists, which means VGJ can't really just go do it by brute force. They still have to respect that RP.
Oh, just the AoE presence in general of Teamfight, yeah. Little Silence RP. You mentioned the Blood right on top of that, Ember Spirit going in with the Remnants. It's definitely a lot of scariness there.
All right, Breaky. Let's make a bet real quick. Who's getting Chaos Knight bursted with the Blink Dagger first?
I mean, Night Stalker seems like a good candidate. Hey, Night Stalker. He goes in right there. Bloodlight comes out though with the Global Silence, so it's not going to be a kill. No crits really coming out. Chaos Knight doesn't have that BKB, and actually he is melting away right here. He goes down. He's down for 70 seconds. They did pick off Silencer as well as Magnus, but Magnus buys back even. And this Dire side, they definitely want to fight now. Again, they still have RP. Puck blinking away though. And they're retreating here. Abed trying to pursue somebody. Goes for the Searing Chains, unfortunately out of range. Stan King keeping his distance. Puts on another Ice Vortex. Remember that increases his speed now. Nice Lodosaur Purge. Keeping him alive, and they're at the Shrine. That's a dangerous spot to fight. They reflected the Lotus Orb right there. Bulba Has a Glimmer Cape on a Sand King. He'll be fine. AA, though, not so fine. In comes the RP now. That was a burst on a Bloodseeker right before that, though, with the Dagon that you heard right there. Out comes the Epicenter now from Flea. So the RP, unfortunately, not resulting in much. And Lycan goes Shapeshift, but he gets rooted up right as he does. Wanted to chase somebody here. Chase down MSS. Nice. He's stopping the blink with his wolves, actually. Shadowblade is up, though, and he gets it off just in time. Dreamcoil in a 1. He's going to go for a random Dreamcoil. Do it. Do it. Do it. He's not doing it.
MSS doesn't have a TP for a while. This is a good time to scan out, CPC him.
Well, they figured he's out. Maybe they just didn't pick up on that information. But how about that, though? I mean, Chaos Knight kind of just, again, he was just up there and...
Yeah, that's not how you use the Blink Dagger. I mean, that was just an ambitious. They didn't know who was on the hill, and he blinked up into a whole team. But the goal is the Phantasm first, and then you blink, and then you can pop somebody. But overall, teamfight win for them. Fairly big teamfight win. They get the RP, they get the buyback on Magnus, Global. So free Roshan going to the side of VGJ. And now he can do this with impunity as he has another Aegis.
There you go. There's the Aegis now. So yeah, now he can feel a little more ballsy as far as going in, making his play. Shiva's picked up on Ember Spirit. So he's got overall a pretty defensive build here, but still has you know, pretty good potential, of course, for pushing out lanes. And that's how the hero works.
Not to take away anything from either of these teams, but after seeing the Dire play earlier today and some of the basic mistakes these two teams are making with Vision, blinking into multiple heroes without Vision up hills, it definitely looks like a little bit sloppier of a series than the last one we casted.
Yeah.
And it's definitely going to be interesting when whichever one wins this meets the Dire in the next round.
I mean, VGJ.Storm, I feel like, has shown glimpses of that coordination, but yeah, overall, this series on both sides has had its sloppy mistakes.
Nice. AA took 30 health regen. Super tank.
That over
Phantasm.
the -1 second Ice Vortex cooldown. It's a Phantasm army right there. That's, what is that, 4 illusions? 5? 5 there, yeah.
It's just
Beating
so
away at the tier
non-committal.
3.
Yeah, there's just so little that DC can do about this.
And it's going to die. There you go. So tier 3 is dead. Yeah, you can't really blame them though, as you pointed out. It's a difficult task. I mean, all their racks are still up though, as we're now almost 40 minutes into this game, so that is a plus for DC, considering how this game was looking.
Yeah, they're getting there. They're playing the long teamfight game too. With this build out of Ember Spirit, he went to Shivas, so harder to bring down, has okay long, slow DPS, but really not making a lot of use out of that Empower.
What about the build though of Ember Spirit? If they're really playing this long, drawn-out game...
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. He went Shivas instead of going something that synergizes with the Empower.
Yeah.
So. It's okay. It gives them a ton of control, and it means they can draw a team fight out and try to kite people out a little bit. But yeah, I would have loved to see a little more high damage build come out of him.
Well, you have to work with what they got here. 3,700 gold on Bloodseeker. What can he get here that would have high impacts?
Butterfly.
That's what I was thinking too. Makes a nice
Synergizes
damage.
super well with Empower. It makes him a lot harder to bring down.
Oh, Puck going the F-Blade, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The Dagon, that's awesome.
He's
Big
ready to
bada
give
boom.
some people. Oh, yeah, it's going to do so much damage. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it might insta-combo Magnus once he has the E-Blade done.
Chaos Knight, I still stand by me. Once he gets the BKB, then he truly will be, you know, very, very difficult.
I want to see
Raid boss,
747 go for it. He's going to go for a pop on Moon here or something. Aw.
No. He doesn't have it yet, does he? Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, with that combo, no doubt. I mean, he could easily kill Silencer. Can he kill, you know, others here? So, in the one-shot status. Okay, Chaos Knight has enough. Well, just about for his BKB. He's going in, actually. Oh my God. The Meander deleted from the game. And here we go. Remember, Aegis is still up as well. The Reality Rift pulls in right there on a Bloodseeker. He is staying dead for 70 seconds. No buyback. Dreamcoil locking down MSS. Still no RP, really, this game that has had high impact. And unfortunately, won't get the chance right here. Ember Spirit also going to get caught out. It's just too much firepower on the side of VGJ.Storm. Abed does actually get the kill on a Chaos Knight, but of course the Aegis brings him right back up. So Abed buys back, trying for a last-ditch effort right here. It's just him and Night Stalker, though. Lycan is pretty low. Cheese. Actually still has his BKB. Okay, there's the cheese, yeah. Never mind, not so low anymore.
Man, yeah, this Dagon 5e blade actually came up super fast from Puck. This is just backbreaking. There's no way that DC can even look at this Puck right now without dying.
Global silence. And I couldn't do anything. Seems like VGJ.Storm on their way to a 2-1 victory right here. I mean, DC's not giving up, but there's just really no win condition for them at this point, it seems like. Abed just sitting on the outskirts, toying with them. Night Stalker gets picked off, though. And Epicenter actually being channeled out by Flay. He really wants to finish this. Not going to catch. He just goes into the towers.
Style points.
Beats those down. The style points, indeed. So Mega Creeps have spawned. And the Dire's next opponent will be VGJ.Storm. As DC going to go down the loosest bracket here, most likely. I mean, okay, well, here we go. They land a big combo there, but then Phantasm happens. GG, well played. It's official.
Well, good showing out of VGJ overall. A little sloppy at key points, but managing to play it and squeeze out this DC squad. I mean, finishing this game up 30,000 gold.
We made our predictions in the beginning. Didn't you pick? Yeah, you were right. That's right. I thought it was going to be 2-1 as well, but the other way, so. Props to you, sir. Props to you.